But in this moment, when we go into a yoga class and we recognize and we celebrate what we are, and the mystery of the body that's working in unison and harmony, we might even be struck into a state of awe and wonder. Whereas it's not our ordinary way of looking at our body. So many, well, it's once again, it's just the way the mind works. Like if you're listening to a beautiful symphony and then one of the musicians just sort of bumps their elbow and makes a sound, you're going to go home and, what are you going to tell everybody? Right? And so our mind is focused on things that it wants to find problem with. But when we come to rest in this moment, it the the feeling of problem can subside right in the middle of our situation, and that's a healing moment. So it's a different way of addressing our situation, but it's really valuable to be able to come to this moment right here and right now and resource inside yourself and touch something that's hard to even recognize when we're so busy, uh, you know, moving forward. It was Trungpa Rinpoche, when asked about reincarnation, he said, "Why think about that? We don't even know this." you know, like, why deal with that? Let's deal with this first. Let's come to see what's here first. And it appeals to our intelligence as well sometimes when we actually stop and we realize, well, okay, I feel like there's a problem, but I actually don't really know what the problem is. And then we all kind of assume we know what the problem is, and then we're piling on all kinds of things. But sometimes coming to this basic rest can be very lightening and revealing, and brings us into ourselves, and we learn a lot just through the act of pausing. But I say that as if it's easy to stop. And that's where a lot of the technique comes in. So a lot of the things that are offered through the traditions of yoga and meditation and all the traditions are ways to really work with our condition, because it's easy to say, but here we are. As soon as we sit down, sometimes we find a stillness. Well, a lot of people sit down and all they see is the busyness. So it's different for different people at different times, but we can see we get pulled into it. About falling in love with practice, in a sense, for that to happen is a type of compassion in a way, because sometimes it's nice to say, well, I'm going to fall in love with my practice, but a lot of people don't come to it. They say, well, I should practice, or it's hard to fall in love with it. But when you start coming home to yourself and feeling the sweetness of your own being, that is a falling in love, in a sense. It's not something you can do with your mind.
Hello, this is Lynn Fraser with the Kiloby Center Radical Recovery Summit. We are so excited to bring you the lineup for January 10th to 19th, 2020. Go to radicalrecoverysummit.com to see the new headliners for 2020 and to sign up. You can watch free January 10th to 19th or buy an all-access pass.